Hi there, it's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. I've been making some ornaments just out of die cuts. So that's something I just wanted to show you quick before we actually get to what we're going to be doing today. Yeah, these were fun. I'm taking them along as a gift for somebody this weekend. So I put 2 die cuts together, and this one was 3 die cuts. I wanted them to have a little bit of weight, but not too much, because again, you hang them on a tree. So today we're going to work on an accordion journal. It's for 2025. Have you ever seen an accordion journal? You can include all kinds of different papers, just like a junk journal, but in this case, they're attached to one another and there's no spine. You end up having a front and a back cover, and in this case, these covers are actually book covers. And I've used some texture paste to cover up what was on them. They were already embossed, and I wanted to cover that up. So I followed a recipe from Natasha at Treasure Books. I'm going to link below to her recipe. And here you're going to see me just winging it. I used cornstarch instead of the recommended talc powder or baking soda because I didn't have any at the time. And it worked out great. This is tacky glue that I've watered down a wee bit. And just, again, watch Natasha's video for the actual recipe. I'm adding some metallic blue paint to the glue, and then a couple of heaping things of cornstarch I mix together. I do it in 2 different stages because I want to see the texture. Texture paste, you get it. But it needed to be smooth enough to spread, but not to run. And it worked out really well, both the first time I did it and this time as you're watching me wing it. Now this is a little too runny, so I'm going to add more cornstarch. And then I'm going to add a little more texture to the back, what will be the back cover of this accordion journal. How are you doing? Welcome back. I'm really happy to have you here. I've been having fun thinking of things to do together, wondering if you are going to also try it or if you've already tried it. And gee, maybe you're better at it than I am already. I'm experimenting. This sort of hobby, it engages my mind and my hands. And for me, that's a good way to be optimistic and to think happy thoughts. So it's the sort of thing I do first thing in the morning or during the night when I can't sleep, or in the evening when my husband's busy and I can have some alone time in the craft room just by myself. I'm trying to film in the mornings, but before the sun comes streaming through the window, so that there's enough light but not glaring light. So you can see that I painted the metallic paint on the cover already. Underneath is a flat blue color, and now I'm adding more texture. Yeah, we'll see what we end up with. It'll be interesting. This journal, this accordion style journal, is meant to be my intention journal, my goals, my intentions, my just the things I'd like to do in 2025. And I'm considering adding an extra video during the week just to do some planning and trying out different layouts and just chatting with you more than once a week. I won't start until January, but to be able to start, I needed to have a journal. What I like about Accordion Journal is you keep adding papers until you choose to stop. So you don't add the back cover on until you're ready to end. And you'll see as I go along working in this journal. Now I have about 10 pages maybe with what I add today, and that's a good start. And I'll be adding other things along the way. See, there's the texture, a little closer up, the added texture. That's the top, and I'm going to put this die cut on with 2025 and probably some kind of lace or linen or something else. You'll see next week what I've come up with in the meantime. And within the journal I'll have different cards. This is a watercolor card I made a while ago, and the flower was something our granddaughter went out and picked in our backyard, brought inside, so I dried it, and now I'm using this stick to put over top. And it's not totally successful. I keep going back even after the video is over and using my bone folder to push down. It's kind of like I did there, what I'm showing you in my, but these flowers were really well dried. I had the sticker on the front and vellum on the back. Yeah, so I'll be adding tags, adding embellishments, everything into this accordion journal. There's the first page. The second is a graph. And I want to keep it within the inside of the cover. And I just started pulling stuff out of my boxes and my drawers, including, yep, that paper bag. I have scrapbook paper. I have paper that I printed on that I did upside down on the opposite side that I just put away. And then I have that spread that you're looking at right now that I did years ago when I first started getting distress inks. So now I'm adding a piece of vellum to this, and it's a little bit too tall. I have a few more pages to add, the more grid paper, some more stained paper. That's actually Easter egg dye that I sprayed onto paper. So I'm going to show you basically how you do it. You're folding it like an accordion, and you keep your top and bottom equal. You don't have to. I'm choosing to keep it equal, but it's however long the page is. And you fold it so it's within the confines of the cover. And this grid paper is the exact length of the book, or the right length that I chose for the book, 8 inches. This one is a little bit too wide, so I take a slice off of it to make it work for the Accordion Journal. This is my big guillotine or guillotine. My little one that I prefer doesn't cut the lengthwise. Now this is a piece of paper from a mixed media tablet, and I decided to leave the attached, where it's attached to the coil, because it's kind of interesting. And you can I'm using the offcuts in different places. One is here on this scrapbook page. When I folded it, the scrapbook paper, it broke, so I just folded the offcut and put it on the edge, so it makes it more interesting. And I have been using art glitter glue. Nope, sorry, that's wrong. I've been using Fabri-Tac glue to add pages to this journal because I'm using so many different kinds of pages. Fabri-Tac won't seep through if it's a light page, and it will adhere all of the different kinds of papers. Yeah, I think this is the first time in a long time that I've used Fabri-Tac. Now, I've made one of these accordion journals before. I'll link to it below. I made it for my mom a couple of years ago. Sort of like a memory journal. So I had fun with that, and it was smaller than this version. And I followed some prompts to make the journal for my mom. And it was all out of different discarded pages that when you finish a project, there's always something left. So I used it to make use of those. And I imagine that this journal will be the same. And so I have been working in journals since I was a young mother. I probably mentioned we've moved. And I don't have room for all those years of journals, so I'll be burning them now. I don't want to leave my adult children with so much stuff to go through when I'm not here. I've done that with my mother and grandmother's stuff, and yeah, my husband, I was there when my husband was going through his mother's and father's. So I'll be just getting rid of different things. So I might keep pages from the odd journal to remember certain things. And otherwise, yeah, I'm going to have bonfires and it'll be fun. But journaling has been a part of my life. It's how I make sense of things. It's how I process points of concern. It's how I show my gratitude. Every morning I write. And this one, I think what I'm going to focus on for this journal is my intentions, the things that I'd like to have included for the year 2025. Can you believe it? 2025. When I first put the numbers in, and now I cut them out using I have a little Cricut Joy that our kids gave to me. When I first put the number in, I actually wrote 2005. And I thought, that doesn't look right. Not, of course, realizing that was 20 years ago. Anyhow, here we are, coming into 2025. And there's still things that have to happen. Now, I have been folding these papers and they were not lining up the way I wanted them to. So that's why I cut off the top. Do you have certain intentions for 2025? Do you have things that you want to change, that you want to add, that you want to experience? Do you write a list? Do you acknowledge it in some way? Leave a comment, let me know. How do you keep track of what you'd like included in a year? And some of them are dreams, sure. We all have to dream, right? Some of them are truly, at least for me, things that I would like to get good at. So if I'm going to try and document a little bit of what I do in this journal. We'll see if anybody's interested. I don't know. Maybe you'd like to do it along with me. Do yours too. It doesn't have to be an accordion journal. You can just grab a plain composition notebook from a dollar store. I'm doing this to amuse myself and to use up the paper that I have that I've been collecting for years. So, it's coming together. I have more than enough to begin the year with. And I'll be putting aside different goodies that I find as I clean out my craft room that I can use in this book. Yep, that's the last one I'm going to add for right now anyhow. See, I just fold it and then use the bone folder to make the crease more definite. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Oops. Yes, sometimes things stick. Fortunately, I caught it quickly so that I didn't have a time to really dry. And if it did, well, you know what? I've watched other people put together an accordion journal and they literally cut out a page and reattach something else. So, hey, where there's creativity, there's always a way to make something work. Take care. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living, and we'll see you next week. Guess what we're going to do then?